The age-old struggle of trying to figure out what the notes are across all of the guitar. It's a hard one, it takes time, but there's a few little tricks you can use to help you learn them quicker than just simply remembering them. Just in case you forget where you are when you're playing and you just need to know a quick way of figuring out where you are. Let's go through it. So one of the first things you probably learn is what all the notes are on the top E string. There's a few different ways you can learn that even if you don't know it. And they're basically using these reference points here where we've got the fret dots you might have on your guitar, or birds or squares or anything like that, depending on what guitar you have. And basically we need to learn what each of the notes are on these positions, and then you can figure out what the other notes are. So I'll take you through what the notes are called on each of these positions here. So we've got the open E, obviously. Then we've got the G here on the 3rd fret. Then we've got A on the 5th fret. Then we've got B here on the next fret up on the 7th fret. And then we've got here, we've got C sharp, which is on the 9th fret. And then here we start again at the E. So that might be quite hard to remember in itself, but it's just a case of repeating it all the way through. The two of them are quite easy, the E and the top E, because they're the same note essentially. So once we know that, we can then work backwards from those positions and learn it in stages. So we've got the G here, so if we flatten a note, we go from G to G flat from here. There's a different way of thinking about if you want to go from F to F sharp, but I'm working on these G, A, B, D sharp and E. So G to G flat, and if we sharpen the note, we can go up to G sharp. So we've learned two notes here just from remembering the one note. If you remember that if we drop by a fret or a semitone, we go to a flat note generally, and if we go up a fret or a semitone, we go and sharpen that note. This one here from the A, we can then go back to A flat, which is the same as G sharp. But that's just a way to remember it. So you've got that. If you then go up, we've then got another note from the A, which is the A sharp, or could be known as B flat because it's a flat down, and the B on that 7th fret. And then we go up here, we've got the B sharp, which is actually C. That's where we don't have any sharps between. Which you actually, if you go from the C sharp, down a fret, down a semitone, you go to the C. That's again easy to remember. So the C sharp, we go up a fret, we get the D. And if we go down from the E, we get the E flat. So essentially it's a case of filling in the gaps between these notes that you've remembered, and you can get quite an easy way of learning it. So once you've mastered and learned those top strings, notes, right up to the E there, there's a thing called octaves which can then help you learn on another string. So essentially when we play a note here on the top E, say A for example, if we move down 2 strings to the D string, and then we move along 2 frets on the D string from here, so we play the 5th fret on the top E string, and we play the 7th fret on the D string, that's what's called an octave. So those notes are essentially the same. Can you see what's going to happen now? So essentially, as we've learnt this note here, we've now learnt that note. Then we've learnt the B note here, so that's a B there. C sharp, E, G. So that's a quick way for you to have almost instantly learned all the notes on the D string. The same then applies if we learn from the A string. So you can actually end up learning half of the strings to start with, and then actually know what they are from the octaves on the upper strings. So we'll take you through this next one on the A string, because I don't want to overload too much information, because this is quite a lot to take in at once, and I'll cover the rest on another lesson. So from the A, we want to then learn at each of these intervals on the dots, birds or squares or whatever, we want to learn those notes as we did with the top E. So So we take here, we play the C on the first dot, then we've got a D on the second dot, then we've got an E on the next dot, then we've got F sharp here, F sharp, and then we end back here on the A. So again, the same applies. Once we've learnt those notes, we can actually play the octave again. So we play, say for example, we've got the C note on the A string on the 3rd fret, and then we play up 2 strings and along 2 frets. So we play on the G string on the 5th fret. They are the same note. They are an octave of each other. Now you can play 2 sets of strings. So you've got the octave there and the octave there. That takes you up to the 4th string there. It gets a little bit more complicated when you're playing the B and the E string, but I'll come on to them later, and I just want you to learn through all of these. So you can actually play quite a funky sound with the octaves by muting the middle string with the back of your first finger and actually playing like this. I hope that helps you learn the fretboard a bit more. It is a pain, it is hard work, but it's just all about memory. But these little tricks should hopefully help you learn it much quicker than you would do as if you were just blindly looking and remembering, looking and remembering. It makes it so much easier. Good luck with it and let me know how you get on. Cheers.